fantastic performance. What did you make of that from top to bottom tonight?
Yeah, I thought I started quite well. He set a good pace the whole way through. One of my hardest fights to date. He didn't give me much time to breathe or, you know, to get some space. He was coming in with his head every time. He was hitting after every break. The ref was on him in the first half, but you know, the ref knew why and what he was doing. So it was up to me to sort of take it into my own hands. I was trying to negate him when he was looking for the rough tactics. I was just trying to negate it, put his head in the place that he didn't want to be, and then outscore him on the clean shots when he was blinding himself. He had a very, very, very hard head. I mean, my hands are swollen to bits. I generally think I tore my bicep in about the 7th, 8th round. You know, I've had a lot of fights back to back. I know I've had a little bit of layoff, but obviously I was training for Martinez for a long time before that fight fell through. And then I went straight into that. I've been sparring pretty much every single week for the last 6 months since I got out of the fight against Mohammed Wasim. I probably need a little rest now. I'm putting my body through a hell of a lot as a 26. I've cleared up my mandatory. Felix Alvarado came up as a champion with every ambition to win this title right here. I thought I won clear, I thought I won clean. I don't think there was too much argument at the final bell, whoever one thought won. Maybe the scorecards were a tiny little bit closer, but the way I box, I get 7 rounds clear and then I play with the other ones. I try and use his energy, I try and make him work himself out, and I feel like I did that today.
What sort of message do you feel like you sent to the big guns, Martinez, Bam Bam?
I don't know. I think they all understand that Felix Alvarado is probably a very hard opposition. I think, you know, outside of your boxing casuals, they know Felix Alvarado was a good fighter, a very, very ferocious puncher, probably avoided in his own right. He couldn't get no unifications. Again, that's all the story of my opponents. They can't get the unifications, so then they come and eventually fight me because I can put on the platform. Do you know what I mean? So I can't just stay down at at flyweight defending against mandatory killers. You know, if I don't get the Bam Rodriguez, I'm not going to hold my breath for Martinez. Nakatani's gone now. Dalekane didn't really want to know. I mean, I've been his pace sparring partner a couple of times. I'll probably go up to super flyweight. I don't know, we'll see. I'll sit down with my team. I've got a very good team. I've got a very experienced corner. And yeah, another big event, another big performance for Steel City. I mean, that gym's close to my heart. I've got my coach's license now, so you might see me in Dalton's corner tomorrow night.
Marcel Braithwaite, he was vocal with a lot of the media. He was targeting you tonight. He called you an ugly arse boy. I'll put his arse down again. That's what he said to me.
Without speaking too much to him, because you know what, I'll give him his props. That was a good fight today against Thomas. I had it very close. I do genuinely believe that 10-minute interval after the 8th or 9th round really saved him. I think he was unravelling. I think he knew that. He had a good, not that was sent from the gods, that was, or a bunch of hating pricks. But yeah, it's Marcel Braithwaite. He's only found his voice now. What's that thing you only sing when you're winning? He didn't want to come to the press conference yesterday. He's calling my name. I'm a flyweight world champion. He couldn't even make super flyweight. He's going to go, he's had to sit down in front of the board for his misconduct this week. He's been so unprofessional. Yeah, well done. Well done. Congratulations. He thinks it's his night. He won a he didn't win a British final eliminator because he didn't make the weight. I defended my world title for the 3rd time. Why the fuck am I talking about Marcel Braithwaite?
Sorry, I just want to pick up on something that you said earlier on about how you get 7 rounds ahead and then you feel like you just kind of cruise and you just kind of please the fans and please yourself. On TV and on social media, some people felt like maybe Felix was growing back into the fight in the second half of it. Did you ever feel uncomfortable in there?
Nah, I mean, like I said, I get 7 rounds clear, and maybe there was, I think I had it like 6-1 after the first half. And I don't think I lost all the back stretch. I thought a couple were close rounds, but I was letting him work because at what cost? The final 2 rounds are quite easy. He couldn't really close the gap in those final 2 rounds. I'm working on making people burn their gas tank on my arms and my body, and I was riding most of the shots. Yeah, there was some that got through. I can take a shot, I don't mind taking a shot. And if I can make you throw 30 heavy punches and you've landed 3, 4, well, at what cost is that over a 36-minute fight? Because then the next round, I go for a little kickabout and it's even easier to get away from me. It's even easier just to keep riding, slip shots. Like I said, I think my left bicep went in around about 7 or 8, 9 maybe. But, you know, my adrenaline is like a superpower. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's no quitting me. He was probably up there with the biggest punches, him and Maverick. He came at a ferocious pace. He really wanted to win. He left everything in the thing. But I think I just drained the belief out of him by the end of the fight. And I think he knew he was beat at the final bell.
Sonny, without kind of bigging yourself up too much because of your style being light on the feet, always on the move, how draining do you feel that is on your opponent, constantly having to move, work and mentally trying to work out your style?
Well, he's had 38 wins. He's been a world champion, he's fought for world titles, and he's got 33 knockouts, and he's got, 30 inside the first 6 rounds. People kept quoting me all his knockout stats, but like I said again, no one has ever made me remotely feel close to not seeing the final bell in any fight, in any spar, and it won't again today. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be the one with the 33 knockouts at the 38. Bam Rodriguez don't hit like him. Martinez don't even hit like him. Don't have the knockout ratio like him. So, you know, you look at me and go, oh, well, he's only stopped 4 people. But again, I control the rounds. Like I said, I thought it was a tiny bit wider, but no problem with them scorecards. All 3 went to the right person, and I think, you know, when I was winning, them rounds where he's getting closer and closer, the judges are going to give him them. Like, it's human nature for the judges to give it to him. I've got no complaints. I said what I was going to do, again, like I have every other single fight. I don't know, maybe I'll start getting my credit. I think, you know, Sheffield Arena was bouncing a bit today. It's not my hometown, it's my adopted hometown. The first time I've ever fought here in my life. And I looked around and I got goosebumps, you know. My world title win was in front of about 17 people behind closed doors. And then I went to Dubai. I was the away fighter in about 3,000 Filipinos shouting and screaming. And then I boxed Wazeem, and again I was pretty much the away fighter in Dubai against a Pakistani lad with a big Muslim following over there. So to have my homecoming, it took me 3, but I won it again. At that final bell, I could see all the faces. Everyone knew that I'd won. Yeah, I'm happy, man. We're coming what we did today.
So you mentioned Bam Rodriguez as well as kind of the top man with this. Are you confident that there are lots of emotional differences inside?
Yeah, but there is no promotional differences. Not for me. I had made the fight with Martinez. Me joining Pro Bellum was under the impression that when there was a fight that I wanted to make, I had complete openness and leeway to do it. They proved that when we all agreed everything, and it was Martinez asking for £1 million to fight me at the 11th hour, and then that fight never happened because the zone said no. Bam Rodriguez, he said that he wants to fight me or Martinez. I don't know, maybe they'll try and keep it in-house, but the difference with me is any promoter can offer me a fight. Because if I beat one of your boys, you can offer me another fight, and I'll take it. I want the biggest fights every single time. I can't stress that enough. Genuinely, win, lose or draw, I'm an entertainer. I want to be a part of the events that people care about. That's all I care about. You know, we are literally like WWE characters. I've been saying it. We're like wrestlers, except we write the script in the ring, and then it's up to the promoters and the media and to write the narrative. I ain't got no control over that. I thought I won again, easy. That's 19-0. That's, well, how many world title fights? Well, that's 4 now. And I've not remotely looked uncomfortable, I don't think.
So it might not be a fight which will happen anytime soon. Obviously, the local fights we mentioned in the past, he was successful in Abu Dhabi recently, a very close fight. What did you make of that? And did that performance make you think that maybe it's a little bit further apart than this 18 month to 2 year period which has been taken previously?
Yeah, like Galal's a good friend of mine. I mean, the moment he had his pro announcement that he turned pro, he came and sparred me for about 4 or 5 weeks, and sorry, this was disgusting. Sorry, that was disgusting. He didn't hit the floor, he hit the chair. But in all seriousness, he's a good friend of mine. And he came and he sparred me for about 4 weeks, and then the next fight he sparred me for about 3-4 weeks. And we have great spars. We have great fights. They are so entertaining. And he's like Alvarado. He's like a he just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. He came out of that spar saying it showed him his level a bit, and he knows that he's a little bit away from old level. He needs to learn the rounds. Give him the time to learn the rounds. Just because you win an Olympic gold medal over 3 rounds doesn't mean you can come against the killers in 12 rounds and do it. It's a whole different game. It's like asking a 100-metre sprinter to go and do 10,000 metres. It is 2 different things. Let him learn. He's 3-0. And yeah, people are getting on to me going, you're saying the zone ain't mentioning you. But you're mentioning him for world titles already. You're getting him in positions fighting top 10, top 15 fighters in the world already. Give him his time to learn. I learnt from my brother's mistake, you know, getting dangled a carrot of a world title early, snatching it up for much less than he deserved, and getting fed to the wolves and the phone stopped ringing after it. I learnt from that, and Galal must learn the same.
So just final one from me. Obviously, got Dalton fight tomorrow night. He couldn't be here because he's obviously getting ready for his fight. I imagine you'll be there yourself?
Like I said, I should be in the corner. I've got my coach's license now. So you might hear me and Grant shouting.
Who's going to be the dominant voice?
Oh, I don't know. We're going to be fighting to get in the ring.
But just reading your thoughts on obviously he's fighting with Casey Benjamin. He's fighting with Casey Benjamin.
I don't want to disrespect Casey, but you know, when that fight got made, it didn't seem like the hardest fight out there for Dalton. It might be, I might be wrong. I probably haven't researched or looked into him enough maybe. Grant thinks it's a good fight. Grant thinks it's a hard test, so, you know, I take his knowledge of boxing very, very seriously. So, yeah, it probably will be a hard night and Dalton's probably in for a good test, but genuinely I think Dalton's phenomenal. I think prospect-wise, I know he's a British champion now, but a world-level prospect-wise, I think he's one of the best we have, genuinely. And not because I've trained with him, but because I've seen him as an 11-year-old kid, mad skinhead with a line that went round his head. And the first time I ever seen him, I went, I bet he can fight like fuck. And then he went and beat up the Repton kid that I was there with, you know what I mean? So he's a great, great fighter, a very good friend of mine. He's a godfather to one of my children. So yeah, inshallah he does the job tomorrow.
How big could a fight be as he be?
Massive, super fight. I do very much rate Adam Azim. Shame about his trainer twist. But no, in all seriousness, very, very good fighter, very good family. And yeah, it's a fight that will be built. Probably for a world title. I don't think we'll see it before then. I don't think we need to see it before then because I think they're both on a crash course to get there. Dalton probably needs, from my eyes, 2, maybe 3 years, but he's in a weight full of killers. Do you know what I mean? He's a weight where you have to really mature into it, and you have to get the rounds, and you have to prove it, and gut check all the way up. I think he's got every ability to. He's got the team to. Our gym again, like I said, I give props to it a lot. Our gym is absolutely buzzing, and what Grant Smith has done since I joined him was his first or his only pro for a period of time, and then gone forward, I think it's phenomenal. Yeah.
That's it for Lisa Sonny. Richard Schaefer has you high up poundist. Do you believe you're up there?
Yeah, maybe I think I need to do a little bit better than that to be talking about pound for pound. But like I said, my left arm stopped really working halfway through the fight. His head was rock hard. I was trying to hit him. I was trying to hurt him a little bit. I was trying to buzz him, get him my respect. Because, okay, everyone always thinks, Sonny can't hit. But there's times you can see the reaction in him. You can see the slow down. You can see the sort of hesitation. But Felix Alvarado, tremendously tough. And, you know, he was willing to give absolutely everything there tonight. And, you know what I mean? I wasn't willing to give this title up.
Where do you think you can improve your game?
I've still got a lot of maturing to do. I mean, I'm only halfway through puberty at the moment. I mean, I'm 26 and I'm 26, but come on, I look like a 19, 20-year-old. This is my first camp having a nutritionist, eating right. I didn't do no weight cut. I know I've been saying it. Didn't do no weight cut, did no hot baths, no long runs. I've eaten all week, I've eaten all camp, and I just need to keep it going. Normally I pull the trigger on the Subways, the Domino's, the takeaways until the next fight gets announced. This ain't the case no more. I'm going to go there, I'm going to keep eating, I'm going to get bigger, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to start really developing. It's, you know, boxing's my life, and I'm in such a blessed position, and yeah, I can't wait for what the future holds. I think, I said when I was going through a contract negotiation at the time, but I said to everyone that was around me, everyone that would listen, 5 fights to change my life. The first one was Marie, second one was Mama, third one was Wazim, fourth Alvarado, who's going to be the 5th.
Just in terms of your style tonight, do you think it's the evolution of you as a fighter from less lateral movement, more sort of trading on the inside, and obviously from a boxing purist perspective, your wins in the past have been great, but this was a bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready for mine in your spar. That's what I'm doing. But now, in all seriousness, there's going to be fights where they really drag me there. But again, I was choosing to be there. I don't know how it looked out there, but he was getting me in corners a little bit. But I could have come out. But at the same time, if you just keep escaping, that becomes readable. When I was sitting there, I was holding some shots. I took a couple of shots. But any shot he caught me with, then I think I closed the gap the next time he went for it. Yeah, it was like a war of attrition for him in there, but I was just sort of making him blind himself and scoring the shots. I felt comfortable. I didn't really feel hurt in there. I think the most I hurt was my hand and my bicep, to be honest. I didn't feel out of control. I didn't feel uncomfortable. I didn't even feel like the pace was that much. I didn't feel like I even started remotely slowing down. I think they thought I was, but yeah, I felt good. Genuinely, I felt good.
But from my perspective, and to draw back on the past, with your style in the past, I've just never seen the ability for you to lose a decision to the Martinez's, Rodriguez, especially fighters like Alvarado, Wasim. But in this style, it opens up to more susceptibility. Is that something you're willing to risk to entertain even more?
Yeah, I mean, I like it as well, unfortunately. Like, Grant is shouting at me, move your feet, but there's just something in me that wants to show them that you could get me here. and I'm still comfortable. And also, I'm burning their gas tank. I get up and then I start thinking, all right, then this round I'm gonna make it tired. I might lose that round, but it's like what Mayweather used to do. He'd sit there and let people punch out, and then he might lose that round. He's not losing the fight. He never lost the fight, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And last question for me, I saw your interview with Boxing King Media when you talked about your sort of faith and talked about how the aspect of Muslim and how that was very positive to you in the gym. How has your faith affected you with obviously the hostility you get on Twitter? I know obviously I'm a bit of a culprit myself, but when you do get those dickheads on Twitter that's talking stuff, how do you manage that in relation to your own sort of faith that you're developing?
I don't know about my faith. Like I said, boxing's been my religion since I was 9 years old. I mean, when I was 10, 11, I was literally going to an old church, but I was to a boxing club and spending 3 hours on a Sunday there. Well, I don't know what else religion is for me at the moment. I'll be real. I've dedicated my whole life to boxing as someone with their faith. I've got a lot of friends and a lot of friends with a lot of different beliefs, a lot of Muslim friends. So I see the beauty in it. I see, I see a lot in people that associate and align themselves to the religion. So, when I hear something that sounds shocking to me, I react to it. I'm not, standing here and being the great defender of or whatever. I'm not even trying to be a spokesperson for anything. I'm trying to be Sonny Eggy, the boxer. I've got a lot of questions in my head, and when it comes to my faith, I'll be real, I don't know. I'm way too all over the place. I change my mind from 1 minute to the next. So, there's a lot of questions left in my head, but yeah.
Thank you.
No one.
Sonny, congratulations on the win. Obviously, there was one name on your lips when you reclaimed your title. Obviously, Van Rodriguez. Where would you like that fight to be? Would it be in London, Sheffield, or would you like to go to America?
I don't know, because Sheffield, that was a good turnout for me there today. I feel like, you could see the response that I got from the crowd and the people that was there. It probably surprised quite a few people how many came out. It's not even my hometown, you know what I mean? But we had a good little crowd in there. The city's been buzzing for a few weeks for this fight. And I was proud to, be the main event. My boy JK wrapped me into the ring. I thought that was phenomenal. That's a memory, and to go out there, defend my world title for the 3rd time. I got awarded my IBF ring just yesterday. Well, life's good, man. Life's really, really good.
No, perfect. And obviously we're expecting kind of Van to win the WBO title. Obviously you said it yourself, you kind of wanted a bit of a rest. Obviously you've mentioned the fights that you've had recently. In your mind, would that be next?
Definitely. That's the fight I want to make next. If not, I can't see there being any other flyweight fights out there for me. I'll probably move up weight and look to get a big fight up there.
Will you be keeping an eye on Chocolatito Estrada on December 3rd as well?
I'll keep an eye on everyone.